What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NYG Blue Zone. It's your boy Atticus. And before I talk about our beloved Knicks today, it's Wednesday, so you know there's news. But before I get into that Giants news, gotta tell you, man, my New York Knicks, they won that Emirates NBA Cup last night against the San Antonio Spurs. And listen, I'm not getting all too hyped about the midseason championship game, but if you a Knicks fan, you know what I'm talking about. We've been thirsty, like pallets dry, for any type of championship that we can get our hands on as Knicks fans. I've been a fan since I've been like 12 years old, and the early 90s was when it was solidified, and I became a diehard fan. Ewan, Starks, Breewell. It was just a lot of hype surrounding the team, and we were built to win a championship. Allen Houston was doing what he had to do. Larry Johnson, Marcus Camby. Like, we had some teams that we felt like we could finally win another championship. 1973, y'all, that's a long time to be waiting to win a championship and hoist up some form of a trophy. So the Knicks did their thing, and I had my doubts going in against Wembanyama. This guy he's just a huge man. And if he's anywhere in the paint, it's just hard to stop him. And then shooting over the guys damn near impossible too. But the Knicks had such a good rotation of players off the bench who were very effective and very impactful. And Jalen Brunson, rightfully so, paid homage to those guys during his post-game interview. And I'm really happy for the guys. I'm happy as a fan. I'm happy for all Knicks fans that we were finally able to win a championship. But we ain't come this far to just come this far. Next stop, NBA Finals. But before we get there, there's a lot of good teams that we're going to have to beat in order to win that NBA Finals championship game. And it's just been exciting. And thank God we've had the Knicks to root for, because our Giants have just been a dumpster fire this year. And I really do try to be optimistic about the team because I love the Giants. I don't even care what happens with this team. I'm always going to rep them. I can remember the miracle at the Meadowlands when the Giants were up big against the Philadelphia Eagles, and all they had to do was keep the ball out of Deshaun Jackson's hands. All they had to do was to protect the ball, wind the clock, they win the game, and they would continue to advance into the playoffs. And what did they do? They kicked the ball to Deshaun Jackson. First of all, they gave up points leading up to the fact where they had to punt the ball. They couldn't get a first down. Punted to Deshaun Jackson. He returns a punt for a touchdown, and then he plays with us, toys with us, before he walks into the end zone. Next day, after that embarrassing defeat, I put on all my New York Giants shit, and I live in an area where we are dominated by Eagles fans, and I wore my shit with pride. That's who I am as a Giants fan. So when I express my frustrations about where we find ourselves in this season and how this season started with so much hope, two first-round draft picks we had this season, I felt like, and then the players that we already had, there was just so much enthusiasm coming out of training camp, coming out of the preseason where we just looked like we were unstoppable. It seemed like nearly every time our offense got the ball, we scored. And the defense didn't play too bad either. Boy, were we fooled. This has been the season from hell. And it's Wednesday. So, every Wednesday for the past several Wednesdays, somebody's been fired. Whether it was Brian Dable, Shane Bowen, what was his name? The defensive line coach, former player. I can't even think of his name right now. But the D-line coach, we've had players that have been released. The roster just continues to be juggled. And the Giants keep searching for elusive answers that just keeps finding a way to escape them. And this week, it wasn't a coach that was fired. But if you bought a Young Way Cool jersey last week, sorry. You go ahead and put that in the donation bin right next to your Kadarius Toney jersey, your Kenny Galladay jersey, but you better leave room for your Jalen Hyatt. because the kicking carousel has spun again, y'all. We are on kicker number 4 this season. Think about that. Graham Gano, Jude McAtamney, Younghoe Koo, and now Ben Sauls. It's just comical at this point. Like, it's the perfect metaphor for this New York Giants 2025 season. Just a revolving door of guys trying to fix a problem that's much deeper than who's kicking extra points and field goals. But there was other moves made yesterday too, important ones. Evan Neal is back at practice. We got another new linebacker. And as we look at this roster shuffling deck chairs on a Titanic, I just came to the realization that a lot of you may have already arrived at. This is about our interim head coach, Mike Kafka, and it is not a good one. So we're going to break it all down and why I think the Giants might not even win another game this year. But before I get into all of that, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so every time we drop some new content, you'll be one of the first ones to be notified. All right, so let's get into it. So first, I'm going to talk about some of the news. Younghoe Koo has been cut. I mean, he missed another 2 kicks against Washington. And in this league, if you ain't reliable, you gone. So who's the new guy? Who is the latest kicker that the Giants have brought in to plug a hole that they have not been able to fix for 2 consecutive seasons? Ben Sauls. So this is the scouting report on the new number 9, or whatever number they're going to give this guy. He's a rookie out of Pitt. He has been on our practice squad since November. So he knows the building. And at Pitt, he was actually known as Mr. Reliable. So in his final season, he went 20 for 24 on field goals, and he was perfect on extra points. He actually spent the preseason with the Steelers, and he looked good. He ain't miss a kick there either. So he's got a strong leg, but he's young. He's only 24 years old. And honestly, this is probably more of an audition for this guy because I don't think they're signing him to win games in 2025. At this point, we know that it's a lost cause. I think they're signing him to see if they don't want to draft another punter and they can spend those resources on other players. And if the guy does well to close out the rest of the year, they might have their kicker. I don't know, just speculation. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. So welcome to the dumpster fire, Ben, and I hope you play well. I hope you can find a way to kick the ball through the yellow goal post, which doesn't seem to me like it's a very difficult job. But looking at Giants kickers over the years, you'd think it was an impossible feat. Impossible. So the other news is Evan Neal has been designated to return from injured reserve, and they opened up his 21-day window. So this is it for this guy, right? This is the final stand for him. And the thing about it is, during preseason and training camp, they had Evan Neal playing at guard and they had him play at tackle for a game. And honestly, I don't think he did that bad. Listen, I am not advocating for Evan Neal because he's given me many reasons to scream at my TV this year. But what I'm saying is the opportunities that he has had this season to redeem himself, he didn't play poorly, not nearly as poorly as he used to. So, but this is it for this guy. Like, if he gets on the field this Sunday against the Vikings, I think they're going to use him at guard. But they might use him a little bit at tackle. Maybe because Illuminor showed a couple of shaky games. I don't know what the mindset or the thought is going to be into putting him in. I don't know what's in Mike Kafka's head with that, or Carmen Brasillo for that matter. But I don't even know if he's going to have a uniform on Sunday. But we're going to see. You know, these next 3 games are going to determine if he's going to be on this roster moving forward on the cheap, or if he's going to be looked at and evaluated to potentially be signed by another team. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. You know, either that's going to happen and he's going to be re-signed, or he's going to turn out to be one of the biggest busts in Giants history. So now I want to talk a little bit about our head coach, or rather the interim head coach, Mike Kafka. Do y'all remember a couple of years ago when Mike Kafka was the next big thing? I mean, he was getting interviews with Arizona, Indianapolis, New Orleans. Like, he was the offensive guru behind Patrick Mahomes and then the Daniel Jones playoff run. Like his stock was soaring pretty high. Fast forward to today, and I think his stock has crashed harder than any coach I can remember. I mean, I look at this team right now, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the Giants are going to win another game this season. And let me be clear about why I say that. It's not because I think they're tanking. I watched the tape. I see Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, flying off the edge, putting pressure on the quarterback. I see Bobby Okereke continuing to amass additional tackles to boost his numbers this year. I see Wandale fighting for extra yards. These guys are playing hard. The effort is there. They haven't quit. The problem is that they ain't playing well as a team. And that falls on Mike Kafka. It was Dable, but Kafka, you've been the guy for 4 weeks now. This lands on your shoulders. The offense sometimes looks completely disjointed. The play calling, sometimes there's no rhythm. The situational awareness, the clock management, fourth down decisions, it's been poor. And Kafka has proven that he might be a good offensive coordinator, but he ain't a good head coach. At least not yet. Like, we watching a coach who at many times seems like he's lost and has no answers. And when the coach is out of answers, the team ain't going to win. It's that simple. So where does that leave us? Like, we are currently projected to have the number 1 pick in the draft. We are likely going to lose every game that we play for the remainder of the season. And that's pretty sad considering we should win, or should have been projected to win, 3 out of 4 of our final games, including last week. But now I got this internal battle going on with me every single week. I don't know if y'all got it too, but my head is telling me lose every game, get the number 1 pick. And I want to turn that pick into 3 to 5 premium picks. Back the truck up, whoever's coming for that number 1 pick, because I want everything for it. I want to reset this franchise properly. I already got my franchise quarterback. I already got a superstar wide receiver. I already got good pieces on defense. I want to build around the assets that we have, particularly our quarterback, and put us in position to make playoff runs year after year after year. And with this number 1 pick, we can do that. And a win right now, it doesn't do anything to help me achieve that goal. But my heart, as a Giants fan, as a diehard who, from that little boy who wants to see this team win, and it means the world to me, my heart still sometimes on Sundays wants to see that dub. I sit there and I watch my TV, and when the Giants score, I'm cheering. I can't help it. It's in my DNA. I want to see my boys win. I want to see the players smiling in the locker room. I want to remember what Victory Monday feels like again. So I hope they prove me wrong. I hope Ben Sauls hits a 50-yard at the buzzer. I hope Kafka figures it out for just 1 week. Because even though a win would be bad for the draft, would I be mad at a victory on Monday? Would I be mad to have another Victory Monday? I don't think I would. But until then, buckle up, y'all. Because this Giants carousel is continuing to spin, and we just along for the ride. I don't know what's going to happen. Watch for the preview pod. It'll be coming up either tonight or tomorrow. And I'm also going to do a joint podcast with my boy TP. So look for that. But for now, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go New York, go New York, go. How about my Knicks? This is the NYG Blue Zone. I'm your boy Atticus. Thanks for joining me. See y'all again real soon.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go. I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the dogs like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year.